All right, Alan. Okay. Okay, super, thank you. Yes. Okay. We'll get started. I think everybody's probably as situated as we're going to be. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jennifer Bramley. I'm your city manager. And welcome to the third public input session regarding American Rescue Plan Act expenditures and funding. We call it ARPA, or we call it all sorts of different names. First of all, masks are certainly not mandatory at all. I went to Indianapolis this weekend and picked up a lot of lovely germs for my grandkids. And so since I don't want to spread them to all of you, I'm going to wear the mask, and Les is too, so I don't spread it to him, and he has a wonderful holiday. So we're going to start off this afternoon with an overview of the American Rescue Plan Act, how it's allocated, where it's allocated, what's allocated to the city of Dunedin, and how we can best use it to the benefit of those who live and work and play within the city of Dunedin. We need your help with that. And so we're going to open it up at the end of this presentation. The presentation is about half an hour long. And then we're going to go open it up to our public input session. We are Facebook Live today, as we were with the other two of our public input sessions. This one today is geared toward our not-for-profits, and I see all of you here. It's like a party of old friends, so thank you for coming. And also we have some of our business community have returned, and they're with us today, and our residents as well. Everyone is welcome, and your input is welcome into the American Rescue Plan Act funding expenditures. So first of all, I'd like to recognize our City Commission here with us today. Mayor Julie Ward-Brzezowski, in the back, thank you. Vice Mayor Jeff Gow. Commissioner Deborah Kynes. Commissioner Mo Franey. And Commissioner John Tornga. So according to our City Commission's adopted rules of procedure, this is actually what we call a town hall meeting. And a town hall meeting is convened by the City Commission or the City Manager in order to get input from the community on a single subject or a few subjects. The City Commission today they're not going to be speaking. They are here to listen to you. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the program and what we're going to do with the public input sessions and all the information that we gain a little bit later. But this is a town hall meeting, so we're not going to be able to answer questions. Today is not a question and answer period per se. It's a public input session from all of you. So if there's anything we need to follow up on later, please be sure that you wrote down your email address if you have one, or even a telephone number if you don't, so that we can follow up on some of these meetings with you a little bit later on. But we do have some subject matter experts here today to chat with you a little bit if need be after the meeting. So we have Les Tyler, he's our Director of Finance, and he's going to share this presentation with me. We have Bob Ironsmith, who is our Director of Economic Development and Housing. We have Jorge Quintas, our Deputy City Manager. We have Vince Gizzi, who is our Director of Parks and Recreation. Sue Burness, our Director of Communications. Michael Nagy, who is our Director of IT. And I think that those are our directors present. If I didn't mention you, Director, then put your hand up. Nope. Okay, very good. All right. With that, then we'll carry on. All right. The agenda, we went over that a little bit. The American Rescue Plan Act funding then, $350 billion. On March of 2021, the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 was signed by President Biden and enacted by Congress to combat the COVID-19 pandemic impacts, including support for business recovery, job losses, and public health. The stimulus package includes $350 million to state and local governments that qualify. So we are pleased to say that the City of Dunedin qualified for American Rescue Plan Act funding to the tune of $18.3 million. Pinellas County then received $189.3 million, and then the cities and the counties altogether received $130 billion. Grant funding was released in two payments. The first was received and placed in an interest-bearing account in the City of Dunedin at $9.1 million, and that was October 8th of 2021. And I can tell you, Les got plenty sick of me calling, saying, is it here yet? Is it here yet? The second payment is expected in October of 2020. The funds have to be obligated by December 31st of 2024. So for those of you who think that's a long way away, it's not. It's right around the corner. And you think that we are going to be competing against our fellow cities and counties and those types of things for resources and personnel. So we are putting together an aggressive program for expenditure predicated upon community input. The December 2026 then is a deadline to complete projects funded by the American Rescue Plan Act funds. We have to submit periodic reports detailing the use of the funds. Now, I think that the important thing about those periodic reports and those expenditures too is that the county and the larger cities actually received their funding 5 or 6 months ago. So unfortunately, we smaller cities are a little bit behind the ball before we even start. So we're trying to catch up a little bit on that. We've been working as city staff with Whit O'Brien, our consultant. The City Commission entered into contract with Whit O'Brien to help us administer this program. Whit O'Brien is actually working for the county as well in administration of the program. There are 6 buckets. that the federal government had placed the ARPA spending into. The first one is support public health expenditures. The second one is address negative economic impacts caused by the public health emergency. The third one is serving the hardest hit communities and families. The fourth one is replace lost public sector revenue. The fifth one is provide premium pay for essential workers. And the sixth one is invest in water and sewer broadband infrastructure. So Les Tyler, our Director of Finance, is going to talk to you a little bit about some of the projects that city staff has identified as eligible for American Rescue Plan Act funding, and some that could be eligible for funding. But the one thing that I want to be very clear about is that at this point, none of this, no project has been delineated or approved apart from the special event funding and revenue recovery, the seed money for the special events and revenue recovery as well, right, Les? There's one more. Oh, I'm sorry, and an affordable housing project, which Les will describe in a moment. We're waiting for the community input session to put together the program to present to the City Commission in late January, and I'll go over that a little bit more in a moment, and for the City Commission to adopt the program. And so with that, I'm going to have Les come up to talk to you a little bit about some eligible projects, others that may be eligible, and then we'll open it up for public input. So, Les?
Thank you, Jennifer. And again, I'm Les Tyler, the Finance Director for the city. Happy to be here this afternoon to go over the ARPA information with you. I also want to mention that we have in the very back, far left, Mason Radmaker with Wood O'Brien that Jennifer just mentioned, the consulting firm that's kind of helping us, guide us through the ARPA process. Before we get into the next slide, I'd like to briefly mention a few things about this grant that I consider unique to our city. This grant is unique to me because most federal grants are done where a process where a city or a county applies for a grant, and it's normally a competitive process. And if you're awarded a grant, normally it's on a reimbursement basis, and you incur the expenditures and you get reimbursed from the federal government anywhere from 30 days to 90 days afterwards. This grant's unique, and the Jennifer just mentioned, the money's given to us up front, which is different than most federal grants. We've got $9.1 million we received a month ago, and we're expecting to get the second $9.1 million about in October of 2022. So that's unique. And also, the other thing about this grant that's unique is normally when you apply for a grant, you know the specific scope, and you know pretty much exactly what the grant's for. You fill out an application, and you're successful or you're not. With this grant, it's different because we have the money, and the federal government, Treasury Department's telling us, spend the money and make sure you spend it properly. Make sure you spend it on eligible expenditures. So all the onerous is on us to make sure that we follow the guidelines and we make sure we spend it on eligible activities, and we don't have a situation where if we did not have eligible activities and we had some that they deemed ineligible, there could be clawback. The federal government could audit us later and ask for monies back and things like that. So we're being very careful to make sure we do our due diligence, and we do a really good job working with Wood O'Brien to make sure we have pinned down what's eligible and what's not as we walk through this process. A few guiding principles that the U.S. Treasury are recommending that cities and counties consider as they develop their plan for these funds are, one is to be careful to not create new programs or add-ons that require ongoing legacy cost and ongoing operating cost. That's one thing to be careful of. Also, they recommend replenishing revenue losses due to COVID-19 for cities and local governments to maintain their financial stability and restore their fiscal resiliency. And the next one is they want you to collaborate with other governments and work together with other governments to try to combine efforts. And as an example of that, we are working with and we'll be watching closely what the County of Pinellas does with their funding and see if there's ways that we can join efforts and possibly work on projects together as we move forward. And the last item they recommend is just carefully plan out the projects that you want to, or initiatives you want to do with these ARPA funds that we're discussing today, and consider, when considering the projects, making sure you're looking at all funding streams that might be available. A good example of that is we just recently had passed the bipartisan infrastructure bill just recently, And that bill, for instance, includes bridges, roads, mass transit, and broadband as eligible projects. So we'll be working closely with Whit O'Brien, our consultant, and our department heads to try to leverage those dollars. And if there's grants out there that we can apply for in the competitive process for some of the projects we deem that the commission decides to move forward with, that we try to leverage those dollars the best we can. I also want to mention that on October 5th, staff presented to the City Commission an update of the ARPA funds and sort of where we were at. Staff was at with identifying potential projects. That was presented to them on October 5th. Much of the information that we discussed with the Commission is being discussed today in this presentation. And what I'd like to do now is as Jennifer mentioned, go through these categories. We've got these 6 categories, and mention a few things that we've done already, the city's done already, and also some things we think that we potentially could do with these funds. So starting with this, the first one is support public health expenditures. In this category, the key points are to respond to COVID-19 and the broader health impacts of COVID-19 when using these funds under this category. The recipient, meaning the city, should identify the need or negative impact of COVID-19 public health emergency and identify how the program or service or other intervention addresses the identified need or impact. Some things we've done in this category to date would be the city's offered COVID-19 vaccine pop-up sites. We had one in March 2021 and another one on April 15th, 2021. We also had a booster event on October 25th, and another one is scheduled for November 30th from 1:30 to 5:30 at the city's MLK Recreation Center. I want to mention, I think we have some flyers in the back of the room if anybody's interested in checking out that event on November 30th. Some other examples under this category would be personnel protective equipment and also mental health services. And as far as things that we can do with this funding moving forward, potential would be the fire department, its mobile command vehicle replacement would be replacing that vehicle with updated technology and ensuring safety of personnel, and that's an eligible project under this category. So that's one being considered. The next category is addressing the negative economic impacts caused by the public health emergency. And this is in direct response to the economic impacts of COVID-19 pandemic. The ARPA funds can be used by local governments to provide expansive assistance to individuals, households, small business, and impacted communities and industries. Assistance to households that face food, housing, or other financial insecurities. And also another key area includes supporting our local travel, tourism, and hospitality industries. Now, things we've done in this category include the city's offered having signing bonuses at a job fair that was done back a few months ago and could possibly do that again moving forward. We've also had have support the local travel, tourism, hospitality market task force and the Alliance in the city. We provided special event funding assistance for 22 and 23 for the special events in the city. And also we had the temporary outdoor dining. And some things that we can do in this category, there's quite a few projects and initiatives under this category that potentially could be under consideration at this time, and those include providing additional commercial facade grants to small businesses citywide. The next is discussions with the Dunedin Chamber of Commerce for business support services or a hub on the second floor of the chamber. Another is Clearwater Ferry Service contributions for expanded service from Dunedin to Clearwater. And the next is Downtown Looper Service, and this would be to explore as a people mover, moving people downtown and to address some of the parking and traffic issues we have downtown. Another is the Highland Pool Replacement Project. And the last one identified thus far is the Golf Course Capital Improvement Project. The next category is Category 3, and this is hitting the hardest hit communities and families. Funds can be used to address the disproportionate public health and economic impacts of COVID-19 pandemic on the hardest hit communities, populations, and households. Under this section, local governments may provide unique support on services within a qualified census tract to families and households of geographical reasons disproportionately impacted by the pandemic. Some examples include affordable housing and housing assistance in this. Things we've done, the pop-up vaccine clinics are also eligible in this category. You mentioned that earlier. And things that we can do moving forward would be an affordable workforce housing project that Jennifer mentioned briefly. That's a project that is eligible, that we're looking into, and we've actually done an application. If we're successful with that application through the state, then we would move forward with that. And also another one would be also providing aid to Dunedin Cares is another example. Yay. So the next is replacing lost public sector revenue. The pandemic hit public sector hard, as well as many other businesses and entities, as you all know. Cities had to slash spending and sort of adjust basically to what happened back in March of 2020. Our city is no exception. Just kind of big picture, our general fund, it's our main discretionary fund. It's the fund that provides our police services, fire services, our parks and rec, and all of our support departments are covered in that fund. So it's a pretty broad category with really all of our discretionary spending in the city. And so from March of 2020 through September of 21, that 18-month time frame, our reductions in revenue in the general fund were about $2 million in total. They were a combination of sales tax, revenue sharing, and different revenues we get from the state, and also a lot of revenue lost from our program income for example, Parks and Recs and different departments, program income they shut down, and they did open back up, but on a partial basis, so those revenue streams were hit quite a bit. And as far as the Treasury guidance in this category, there's a formula that's used to calculate the revenue recovery, and it's a mathematical formula that looks at 2019 base year and compares what your actual revenues are in 20 and 21 and future years. And so we've done that rough calculation or estimate, I guess you'll call it at this point, and we have included revenue recovery dollars in the 22 budget for the general fund, the gas tax fund, our penny fund, and our marina fund at this time. The next category is providing premium pay for essential workers. This is recognizing the continuous work of essential workers during the pandemic. These funds can be used for premium pay for directly or through grants to private employers for essential workers who were or are physically present at their jobs, including those whose work involved protecting the health and well-being of their communities. The city is in the process of developing a program now to recognize essential workers during the pandemic and provide premium pay to these workers. And examples of those would be our water department, sewer department, solid waste department, are examples of employees and others who are deemed essential. The fire department did receive some hazard pay from the city back in June of 2020, but these other essential workers in the other departments have not received any hazard or premium pay to date. And the sixth category is water, sewer, and broadband infrastructure. And this is really the category for infrastructure, and they kept it pretty narrow with water, sewer, and broadband only. But these funds can be used in a variety of ways for water, sewer projects. And they're eligible, and as long as it aligns with the Clean Water State Revolving Fund guidelines or the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund guidelines, they would likely be eligible under this program. And also broadband investments are eligible in this program with wireline infrastructure that will provide up to 100 megabytes per second. Symmetrical standard may be made in areas that include underserved or unserved areas. And also they recommend that recipients pursue fiber optic investments where possible for stability. Now, things that we can do in this category, we have two potential projects in this category. The first is a sewer to septic connection program that we have proposed in the city, and the other is a broadband fiber optic project and Wi-Fi project that would be fiber optic, but also having Wi-Fi in parks and many of the public facilities at the city is included in that proposed project. So that includes the 6 categories that we mentioned, and there are some areas that the ARPA are considered ineligible uses of funds, and I just want to point these out. They are you cannot use the funds to offset tax reductions. If you reduce taxes during that time frame, you cannot make it up with these funds, basically. They do not want it to be paid towards pension funds in any manner. They don't want it to fund any debt service of the city. And also, it cannot be used for legal settlements or judgments of any sort. And they also don't want it to be put into rainy day funds or reserves. They don't want you to build your reserves up. They want you to spend the funding. You can build them back, but they don't want you to build up reserves. They want you to spend the money, basically. And community engagement. This is kind of what we're doing here today. You know, we've got our input session this afternoon. We also had a business input session on November 9th at 9 a.m. that was in the City Hall chambers. We had a resident public input session on November 9th, the same day at 6 p.m. here in the library where we're here today. I also want to mention that we have a survey that will be available soon through a third-party survey company that we're currently working with. That survey will be available on our website and accessible through our social media platforms. And for next steps moving forward, first thing is community feedback from this input session and the other 2 we just mentioned on November 9th. And then the plan is the first quarter of 22, probably the end of January or early February, staff will bring back the ARPA plan, and we'll take all the public input from this meeting and the other 2 meetings and bring that information back to the commission for their input and their direction. And that completes our general comments today, and I'd like to turn it back over to Jennifer to begin the discussion and answer portion. Thank you.
Thank you, Les. So in order to kind of get the juices flowing here and give you a couple ideas before we open up for public input, I want to talk to you a little bit about what we've heard so far in our first input sessions. And how many of you watched some of them? Okay, just a few of you. All right, so we heard from a woman on the resident one last Tuesday night that she'd like to see some mobile hotspots for areas that are low moderate income to help the students who don't have the access that they should, especially during a pandemic, but actually typically all the time, which I thought was a great idea. We heard from residents that they would like to see a stepped up mental health services for the residents of the city of Dunedin to get us through the next couple of years post-pandemic. We heard that we need to ensure accessibility for all of our disabled residents and visitors in public places. We had a really cool idea, which was cooling Main Street, and that is planting more trees and installing, heat reflective surfaces and those types of things. We heard that some of our small business owners need additional help and that they need additional support. And we also heard of a very interesting comment from a gentleman. It was actually after a meeting. He didn't want to speak publicly, but he said, whatever you do, wherever you place this money, make sure it's a seed that's going to grow. They didn't want anything that's going to be the ongoing operation or that type of thing. Make sure it's something that you can plant that will multiply upon itself to support the city, our residents, and our businesses. And I thought that was really good advice. I like that. You read in the newspaper that some of the cities are just putting it in 1 or 2 really large projects and calling it a day, which isn't necessarily a very bad, approach, but it's a different approach, I think. And I don't think that those are really predicated a lot of public input, to be honest with you. So we're actually really in categories number 2 and 3, which is the not-for-profits as well. So with that, I'm going to open it up to the floor. And as I said, there is absolutely no bad idea. Just a couple of things. Now, Antonella, wave. She has a microphone. Now, I know that we can probably hear most of you, since I know most of you. And I know that you're not shy, but we are Facebook Live, and so we want our audience to hear you. And also, Sue Burness is going to tell us if we have any comments on Facebook, and we'd be happy to address those comments as well. But I won't seek those out unless Sue tells me that I need to. So, okay, I know you are not shy, any of you. So hands up, let's hear from you. How can we help you? Okay, first not shy person.
Hi, my name is Diana Hartman. I've lived in Dunedin about a couple of years, and I missed the resident meeting, so it's good that I'm first at this meeting.
Yes,
because I can
absolutely.
get the
We're glad you're
resident
here.
stuff out of the way.
Yes.
So I was thinking that with the economic downturn and the movement that there's been of people and jobs and whatnot, I would like to see some sort of job training or apprenticeship program, because everybody going to college is just not working out for a lot of people. So I'd like to see the people who maybe are not planning on going to college develop some kind of skills, maybe tie it in with the vocational program in the high schools or something after high school, maybe IT stuff. You can take like a 6-month, 9-month course in IT and come out and know how to do something. Because the problem is a lot of people have no skills, no job skills. So I'd like to see some job training with this money to get our economy going again.
Super, thank you so much. I'm really so impressed with the comments that we've heard so far and the quality of those comments and you know, how far-reaching they are. So thank you for that. I think it's a great comment. Alan had his hand up.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, and thanks for the opportunity. I'm Alan Mchale. I'm a resident in Dunedin, and I'm also president of the Scottish American Society. The city has a process every year of offering aids to private organisations. And organisations like mine have to list the projects that we want to try and complete. We apply to the city and they give us a portion of that grant back. For us, we're trying to maintain a almost 100-year-old building. There's not anything certain as to whether it's 97 or 100 years, but the floor is starting to deteriorate and the bathrooms need to be replaced. But in terms of just fixing the floor and fixing the bathrooms, for us, it's all about being able to plant that seed that you talked about at the end of your last comment, because what we have done in the last couple of years is we've returned the use of that hall to the public, or to the citizens of Dunedin, by presenting shows, theatre groups, concerts, and events for other organisations. So the more we can maintain that building and the more we can do to upgrade that building to have proper lighting and sound systems and proper flooring, the more we can return it to the public. And that would certainly help us as a non-profit, and your aid to private organisations has gone some way to help that. But if we could make up the difference, it would certainly help us.
Okay, thank you. I know that one of the cities actually, and the mayor had sent us the article, did do a lump sum to not-for-profits to be disseminated in that fashion. So it was a very interesting program. So they put together a separate program for not-for-profits. I was intrigued by that program. Thank you, Alan. Joe? Joe, yeah, Antonella will hold it for you because she doesn't want you to get it because you'll never get the microphone back.
All right.
Right?
First, this is weird.
It's okay.
I might. No, first, really, I want to thank you, Jennifer, and Les, and the commissioners for, having this program to give us an opportunity to speak our piece. So I'm really grateful for that, and also grateful that you actually mentioned Dunedin Cares on your slide presentation, and the aid to Dunedin Cares. We greatly appreciate that.
We love everybody equally.
I know that. But we're special.
Sorry, Joe, go ahead.
So as you know, Jennifer, that Dunedin Cares has grown significantly. We just completed 6 years and giving out food to citizens of Dunedin and the surrounding communities, and it seems like we just continue to grow and grow and grow, and we've come to a point now that you're probably aware that we've run out of space again. Matter of fact, we just had to order a pod today to handle more donations that are coming from the schools. So we already have 2 containers and now another pod. I think the church is ready for us to move. So this is the one thing that I wanted to put out in the forefront, that Dunedin Cares needs a larger facility. We're looking very seriously, and anything that the city of Dunedin can do to aid us in getting a larger facility would be greatly appreciated, not only with the building, but with the finances as well. So thank you.
And you're welcome, Joe. And we have met regarding facility. And Joe, do you want to talk a little bit about the event that you're about to have too, aren't you?
Which one? The
Isn't
big
that the
one?
casino night?
The what?
Aren't you? No?
Okay, so we had scheduled our first ever event called the Bootleggers Ball, a Roaring Twenties
not doing
Gala,
that.
and it was scheduled for September 25th, and because of this wonderful stuff we have going around here, we postponed it.
Okay.
So we've rescheduled it. It's going to be on January 22nd, which is a Saturday. It'll be at the Dunedin Golf Club. We still have some room. We would love to invite everyone. Tickets are like $100. It's a dress up. It's going to be great. A lot of music, a lot of good food, a lot of antique cars, and I heard Al Capone might be there, but I'm not real sure. But Babe Ruth is a shoe-in. So, yeah, that's it.
Great. Thank you, Joe.
Okay.
Okay. Dr. Pat? Oh, okay. We're going to go around and then come around. Very good.
Hello, my name is Roseanne Landreth, and I'm here from the Dunedin Music Society.
Hi, Roseanne.
We have a request, and I think would fall under the number 2 category, that we would like to have a music center, and that would reach out to the whole community. Our mission is to connect the public with music. Music is definitely helps with your mental health and all of that. So that's what we were asking for, and it wouldn't just be a music center. Wouldn't just be for us. It could be for people throughout the community.
Okay.
So and host, other artists from all around and everything.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Pat Snare, and I'm a 63-year resident of Dunedin. And I was only 2 when we came here. I would like to shirttail on Alan's talk about the Scottish heritage of our town. We at the Dunedin Scottish Arts Foundation are very fortunate to have coming in the Royal Scottish Pipe Band Association Intercontinental Solo Drumming Championship in February. So our focus would be on travel and tourism, because we are actually bringing people into our community from all over the world. I think that with this and the piping college that we're doing and the people coming in for the Highland Games and everything, we do contribute quite a bit to the travel and the tourism of this community, and we would like some help with putting these programs on.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Pat.
I'm from the Miniature Art Society of Florida, representing this society. We hold the largest miniature art exhibition in the world. You will hear others from other countries say that. And many of the visitors come in from out of state and out of country every year to see our show. So we have a big impact. We support artists from, well, we've had 15, 16 different countries that come, and 33 states usually represented at our shows. The impact goes well beyond the society and the artist. It attracts thousands of visitors to our local museums, as well as wherever our locale is, and this is Dunedin Fine Arts Center this year in January. And also we have given scholarships to students going into art in colleges. So far, about 134,000. This is our 47th exhibition, and the MASF is a bit in jeopardy because last year the show was canceled. This is our only source of income, except small amounts of dues for the artists paying for that. We have, in the 47 years, have never asked for funding, so we have managed to go along so far, and we hope to still go on and be around here. I love it when we, at Dunedin and other shows, they leave and they say, thank you, this is wonderful, I'll be back next year. These works are for sale, and the commission is low to us. But it's the local people and others out of state that come because they say, we've never seen anything like that, and it's very special, and art is helping health-wise to all of us. So we are very privileged to be here and in the area and get quite a draw, and we hope to be able to continue as our 50th anniversary is coming up, and we want to celebrate that with all of you. Thank you for all of you who know about it and have been there and appreciate it. Works are for sale, but we do not press anybody to buy it, and this year, for the first time, they'll be online. And so many of our people just come and see the show, and that's what we want you to do. Thank you for your support.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bethany Sullivan. I'm with Feeding Tampa Bay. I'm going to echo a little bit what Joe said. Food insecurity has become a very prominent issue post-COVID. Pre-COVID it was, but it's just become kind of in the limelight lately. Feeding Tampa Bay is actually the largest food relief organization in the Tampa Bay area. We service all 10 counties, including Pinellas County, our second largest one. We partner with over 450 agency partners in the area to provide food for them to then distribute, in addition to our own distributions, 62 of which are here in Pinellas County, 38 of which are in northern Pinellas County, including Harriet's Food Pantry right here in Dunedin. So there's a lot of need. Pre-COVID, we were servicing over 600,000 people. And then at the peak of COVID, 1.7 million of our neighbors in need. We're still servicing over 1 million neighbors. We served 95 million meals this past year. Our current facility was originally designed to serve 20 million meals per year back in 2008. And so we're kind of busting at the seams. We have a goal of a hunger-free Tampa Bay by 2025. And in order to do that, we need a facility to distribute 145 million meals throughout the community. So we're kind of in the process of working on funding for a new building ourselves. Okay. And would love, much like Hillsborough County, Pinellas County are all coming on board, we would love the surrounding communities to also assist with that. So, thank you.
All right. Busting at the seams like Dunedin Cares. Huh? Okay. Thank you. All right.
My name's Alan Mortimer. My wife, Dolores Mortimer, is the founder and director of the nonprofit House of Mercy and Encouragement that does mental health counseling in the area. And I think she's someone who has a lot of experience and knowledge about what the mental health needs are in the community. So I think people like her and probably other people would be good resources as you develop what plans and what programs you're going to do with mental health. I know a lot of times it's tempting to get a large organization and give them a lot of money for mental health, but I think there's a lot of small organizations like hers that could really provide services, and my initial idea too was just provide input into what could be done with the money.
Very good. Thank you, Alan. It's a wonderful program you have going. Thank you. Antonella can't run fast enough.
Hello, I'm Jeanette Donahue.
Hi, Jeanette.
Long resident, lifetime resident, Dunedin, and I also work in Dunedin all my life. So I'm with Random Acts of Flowers, and as you guys know, we repurpose and bring flowers to those in nursing homes, hospice care, and nursing facilities. And we're going on our 8th year this month, and we've serviced 120,000 individuals at this point in time. And we are also, with our loss of fundraising that we have had over the last 2 years, our goals that we had have kind of been pushed to the side. So we're just trying, as everybody else, to stay open and stay afloat with, we only have 2 employees, we both took a pay cut to stay in business, as well as, again, what our goals are. So for us, it's really what we do is we deliver. So having a van, we have had a van for 8 years. It was already a used van. So something like that would be really helpful for us to keep our business going, because that was our 5-year plan, which would have been last year, to try to gain money to get a new van and to service more in our area. So that would be my input.
Very good. Thank you, Jeanette.
Hi, I'm David Lamacco. I'm the Executive Director of Neighborly Care Network. Neighborly provided this past year over $500,000 of home-delivered meals, transportation to dining facilities and physician's appointment and pharmacy runs. We also operate a daycare up the road in Palm Harbor where a number of Dunedin residents are there, folks with dementia, cognitive disorders are at our programming. Neighborly never stopped. The day the pandemic hit, when we talk about essential workers, we couldn't stop delivering home-delivered meals. We couldn't stop picking up people and taking them to medical appointments. So we never missed a beat. Unfortunately, our funding did. And so when we talk about revenue replacement, one of the challenges we saw is this past year, we're going to lose close to $900,000. And so we're really working hard to try to backfill a little bit of that, but also moving forward. We have to be creative as to how do we keep doing that stuff when we're being mandated to pay $1 an hour more per employee, where we're being mandated to pay double gas prices, well, food costs, we all know what food costs are. They're the same things for us in the meals we deliver. Our food vendors are already asking for 10% more, and we spent almost $3 million on food last year alone. And we have to purchase that. That's not commodity, or it's not food that we still work with all the food banks to deliver meals, to deliver groceries, but we're still delivering hot delivered meals. And again, remember with Neighborly and Meals on Wheels, it's more than a meal. It's the daily check-in on people. We might be the only person they see. So we're looking at any ways we can kind of make a change with that. We're active with the Dunedin Committee on Aging, attend all their meetings and try to be in their planning sessions and try to resolve any issues they have, especially transportation, getting seniors around town. We have a number of vehicles buzzing through Dunedin every single day. So we'd be happy to be considered for some opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Heather Mchale, a resident of Dunedin and recent founder of Hope Grove Co-working Care. It is a co-working space focused on mental health support for the whole community. I provide childcare at the space as well with certified teachers. And then in the main co-working space, we host support groups, workshops, and education to small businesses and families and anybody struggling with any mental health issue. I've reached out to local therapists, and I would love to talk with Dolores as well. I used to take my stepdaughter to House of Mercy and Encouragement. It was a huge help to her. When the world shut down, I saw a huge need for mental health and community collaboration and connection. As a small business owner for years myself, I really needed that human connection. I thrive with building relationships and being out and active in my community. So I opened this at First United Methodist on 421 Main Street. It's at the church in the space where Head Start was for the last 15 or so years. So we have the whole outdoor space and about 2,000 square feet inside. I did the whole build out and funded this project myself. So I had a little bit of savings, and I put it all into this because I believe passionately in it, and I'm looking to collaborate and support all of you guys in any way I can. If I can host events or workshops or bring in professionals that want to give back to the community, I would love to do that with you. And I've even reached out to the chamber and offered to host any larger events that they can't fit there because I have enough space for about 35 to 45 people. And then I have the huge outdoor space as well. So any way that you guys could support me with getting set programs, professionals in there leading mental health support groups, workshops for small business owners on how to get started in the small business world, like how to find, even how to do your LLC, how to do your taxes, like all of the basic stuff that new young business owners don't know, or how to set up payroll, those kind of things is what I see a need for in our community, a lot more education in the back end.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you're doing. So one of the things that Les and I were talking about, as Antonella walks over, is that the federal government actually gave a little bit on the requirements as far as the agreements they had to enter into. And it used to be a 17-page agreement, and now it's a couple pages. It's not a subrecipient agreement anymore, which is a very onerous process. So they made it a little bit easier, and we heard about that this morning, and that's really good news for everybody. Go ahead, Blair. How are you, Blair?
Hi, I don't know if I'm supposed to look that way or that way.
Whichever way you want to look.
Okay, anyway.
It's okay. Just
most
look up
of you are
here.
here. My name is Blair Cooey, and I'm with the Dunedin History Museum. And I actually was going to ask a question about information. Where does one find this, like the PPP loan, to really get a lot of information? I like to look at things visually. But
Okay, so Blair, if I can just interrupt. So actually, that's a really good point. I mean, all of this funding is coming through local governments, so you're more than welcome to educate yourself on it, and we can make available whatever information that we have, and provide you with a link for where we get our information. Okay.
But also, I just want to take 1 minute to say, the museum also, we try to enrich community pride by getting history out there. We just had a great event called The Last Hurrah at the Kellogg Mansion, and the new owners, Dave and Chrissy Wenk, are donating all proceeds from that event and auction proceeds, minus the auctioneer's commission. And the John Robinson came up with a great idea to provide a year membership for anyone who bought a ticket. So we got quite a few more members. Let me just say, Vinny right now is giving a tour of the mansion, but he is so responsible. I think we came in second place for small to medium-sized museums in the latest statewide survey poll, however you want to say, with like a 94.6 rating. And that isn't done just, overnight. But also, Jeanette there, thank you for the Random Act of Flowers being a sponsor of the event. Deborah and Alan Kynes. I'm sorry, I'm trying to see if there's anybody else that was a sponsor, but thank you so much. And just, get the word out. We only have around 1.5% of people in Dunedin who are members. That is going up now because of what happened at the event. But I encourage you to come. And we're trying to give as much as we can back. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Blair. Anybody else? Rod Coleman in the back.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Rod Coleman. I'm encouraged by the comments today because I think a lot of what we're hearing is quality of life. And here in Dunedin, that's very important. I have a couple of hats I'd like to tip today. I founded the Youth Sailing Association for youth in about 12 years ago, and still a current board member. And we're using a lot of the same equipment that we started with, and something like that I think fits into the quality of life. The other one is I'd like to shout out to Dunedin Fine Arts Center for their contribution as well in the community, and I know they have growth needs as well. The third thing I'd like to say is I hope that we can partner up with the county and possibly Habitat for Humanity to look real hard at housing, affordable housing for the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Rod. Jack, so as far as partnering up with the county, that's a very good point, Rod. They're $189 million. As I said, they are working on larger scale projects, but they have committed to approaching the cities to talk about what partnerships that we can develop in order to expend some of their funding as well. Hey, Jack.
Hello, my name is Jack Batesall. I'm the president for the Downtown Dunedin Merchants Association. I think that there's two different types of non-for-profits, just so everyone knows. There's non-for-profits that do charity work, and then there's membership non-for-profits. So the Downtown Dunedin Merchants Association is a membership non-for-profit, which I spoke more at the business one the other day.
Right.
So I'm just going to add some comments on top of that to go more towards the charity side. I think one of the things that we can look into as a city is we've heard a lot of the non-for-profits today speak up and say that they handle different types of programs. Maybe there should be a study done to look into what programs are missing from the city. Where is the need in the low-income housing sector or any type of sectors around, whether it's mental health, everything that was kind of mentioned today, and see if there is a gap that we are missing that we could put this type of funds to to start a program or to add on to a non-for-profit that's already here to add on to the programs that they already have. So whatever that might be, music, arts, mental health care, anything like that. But I think that would be a great addition to that. I think the, sorry, I'm looking at my notes here. I think that was kind of my main gist of the whole thing. I think that, you know, there's some in here that I've been around for many years and didn't even know that there was some of those around here, and I think some of us are probably saying the same thing in the room. So some type of a study to get that stuff brought forward. So thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Jack.
Hi, I'm Eleanor Fox. I'm representing the Kiwanis Club of Dunedin, and I want to thank the city for including us in the program for nonprofits. And I especially like to thank Les for helping me with this I don't know what you call it, but it's some kind of an application for government help, and I still need help. But anyway, I just want to show my appreciation to the city of Dunedin for opening their arms to us.
Thank you, Eleanor. Well, you're our favorite people, but, you know, our not-for-profits, members and public benefit. Okay. Oh, got a hand up? Oh, that's Sue. Oh, that's, I'm like, Sue, what are you doing?
No, I'm going to read a comment from Facebook.
All right.
So this is from Margaret Majeski. My name is Margaret Majeski. I am one of 11 artists at Sterling Art Studios and Gallery, which is a nonprofit organization in downtown Dunedin. Our mission at Sterling is to bring art to artists at all places in their artistic journey. We propose offering art to the public by securing funding to provide free art workshops at Sterling, including supplies and materials, as well as pay for our instructors to be held at our nonprofit. Art is a way to express oneself. It brings calm as well as peace to our lives, all which helps our mental health.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, one comment on Facebook. Okay. Okay, Jack's coming back around. Jackie, did you have something? Okay. Well, let's let Jack, and then we're going to bring you the microphone. So
I'm
they'll be able
sorry.
to hear you.
I know Vince just left, if you can still hear me out there or not. But I think one of the programs that we are missing that would be kind of with the health of the city is more pickleball courts, outdoor pickleball courts. I know it sounds kind of different, but Clearwater and other cities have some amazing pickleball facilities, and I think that is a new thing that the older folks are attaching on to stay healthy. So pickleball courts is definitely some green space usage that could be used.
Very good. Thank you. Pickleball is hot. It really is. Yeah. Okay. And Jackie Nigra over here in pink. Okay. Who's after Jackie? Hands up, and we'll. Nobody yet. Okay.
Good afternoon. Jackie Nigro.
Could we? I can't hear Jackie. Thank you. Go ahead.
Jackie Nigro. I live at 9 Hague Place, which is Honeymoon Island, and I've been here for 17 years. I'm here on behalf of the Arts and Culture Committee, Advisory Committee. We have been approached many times by various members of the community, and they are looking for a public, not belonging to any private community, but a public theater for the city of Dunedin. Now, we're not looking to build one today or tomorrow, but what we would like to have is the money to fund a feasibility study whether or not it would work within the city. We are arts and culture, and as you know, we have culture everywhere, art everywhere, and we do have the music of the Scottish groups and dancers, and the lady said that she needed a music center, and someone said they needed an art show. Well, such a venue would allow for all of that to happen. We've had former commissioners supported a theater. We have current commissioners that also support it. Residents and business owners have also approached us, and the CRAC and the DDMA members have also spoken of and support this venture. The Arts and Culture Advisory Committee has already received 7 city cultural organizations' letters of support for a city public theater, and some of them are here today. A private commercial venture of professional theater facility would, firstly, offer a venue for a variety of stage entertainment, drama, choral, quartets, readings, lectures, music, musicals, dance, art shows even. Secondly, it would be an economic driver, creating and supporting jobs, generating government revenue, and serving as a cornerstone of our arts tourist industry, which is quite large, as you know. And lastly, a theatre would satisfy the increasing desires of our visitors, which would then put Dunedin on an even more attractive level for them and further elevate Dunedin as an arts destination and an even deeper enhancement of our epic goal #1, which is to create a vibrant cultural experience that touches the lives of our community and visitors. Tourists, we find, are increasingly wanting a deep, authentic experience which all of the arts venues can provide. The Arts and Culture Advisory Committee understands that it would be a 2-part venture in achieving the goal of such a theatre facility. First, we would have to conduct a citywide feasibility study to gauge the support for a theatre at which, known professional entities would perform, and secondly, form a business plan based upon the study's findings. So today, our Arts and Culture Advisory Committee joins the chorus of citizens in asking for Commission support in this very simple first step of investigating the feasibility of a public theatre for our city. We have a figure sort of, but I won't speak up now about it, but it's well under 15,000.
Okay, thank you, Jackie. It's such a shame you weren't prepared for this meeting. Just so you know, Jackie's always prepared for these meetings, so thank you, Jackie. Thank you very much. Yes, that was excellent. We knew that we'd hear from Georgianne. We knew that that was going to happen.
Hello, Georgianne Bissett. Well, I don't know what to say because I've enjoyed everyone's infomercials about all the things that you do. But one thing I do know, since I know almost everyone in this room, is all not-for-profits as well as cities lost a great deal of money during the pandemic. There can't be one organization that has not lost. We lost between $600,000 and $1 million. But I do know that Dunedin, and I'm very happy that I live here over in Weybridge Woods, the Dunedin population, the residents and the not-for-profits and the cities, we all love activity, arts, and music. And, you know, we're prepared to work with everyone, bearing in mind that we have suffered just as much, even though some people think that we're like a money pot, but we're not. It's because we have wonderful people in this community. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Georgianne. I really feel like we should have celebrated this meeting a little more because having all of you in the room together is really something. It really is.
Sorry, can I just add one more thing? In addition to food relief, and many of you might not know, but Painting Tampa Bay also, we talk about, you mentioned job training and that kind of thing, and that is one thing that we actually have a program for, Fresh Force, where we offer CDL licenses, culinary arts, as well as warehouse operations. We're looking to expand that program as well, so that's part of it. And we also just opened our first empowerment center where we offer a food pantry in addition to hot meal service, but then we also partner with other organizations around the community to lift up our neighbors in need, whether that's health services or education. We just opened our first empowerment center here in Pinellas County in St. Petersburg, so that's an additional resource to help our neighbors here in Pinellas County and Dunedin. And so just wanted to offer that information as well, our Feeding Pinellas branch.
Very good. Thank you, Bethany. All right. Anybody else for the group? Very, very interesting meeting. All right. So next steps then moving forward, and I want to go over this one more time, just so everybody here and everybody watching knows exactly, because this is going to be obviously a very large program. I mean, that we're going to put before the City Commission. We're going to call a special City Commission meeting. It's probably going to last most of the day because there's going to be a lot to get through for the City Commission. We need to meet individually now with our 5 commissioners to go over this public input session, to talk to them about where they are with the American Rescue Plan Act funding, put together a program from now through the end of January, and again, as I said, to put it before the City Commission. We staff at the City of Dunedin, we've officially canceled Thanksgiving and Christmas, so we're just going to be working right through, and they're all fine with that, aren't you? No, we won't be doing that. We won't be doing that. Okay, the mayor won't be there, so I guess we can't do that then. But that said, it's really, I mean, the responsibility to the community to ensure that the expenditure supports all of you and is of benefit to the community weighs very heavily on all of us, obviously. So this is just the first step in the public input portion of our program. We're going to keep you in the inner circle, if you will, all of those who attended these meetings via the email, and Sue Burness is our relatively new director of communications. We'll be sending you emails about meetings and when the next meetings are and when we put the program itself together. We're not going to be able to address everything that everybody's asked for. We're just obviously not. But we're going to do our best, as I said, to put a program before the City Commission that is of the most benefit to the City of Dunedin. So, did you have one comment, sir?
Oh, may I? I actually like to hold my own microphone. There's a wonderful expression about putting all your bags into one basket. Evidently, we may not be able to do that, but I would like to work with those who like the idea of trying to bootstrap a better quality of life for the city here and proceed to use this gift, and it is a potential gift, for the most effective purposes. A very famous and wonderful man once said, "The poor you will always have with you." There are ways to make the most of this gift, and it is not necessarily looking back to find the answers that we're looking for. I love this town. I love the people in this town. They are very charitable and kind and loving, but we have far more resources here in the people and in the nature and the water and everything we have. We are truly blessed, but we need to pay better attention to what we already have and make the most of it.
Okay, thank you, David. And with that, we'll let you have the last word. And they were beautiful words. So, all right. Thank you all so very much for coming. Thank you. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.
Currently looks like. I highlighted the area in yellow where the sidewalk should be. So you can see all the